what I mean, not all vowels. Not, let's say, I'm thinking about a verb ending in a vowel. Well, the same, like the same case Marcos was saying, not the verb dance. The verb dance ends in a vowel. Dance. The vowel is the e. But since dance already ends in e, we only add the s. So there's in vowels. So our S, S, H, C, H, X, O, and it's missing one letter, guys. Who knows? Come on. Come on, teachers. No? You give up? Okay. It's the Z. Okay, the Z. So verbs ending in S, SH, CH, O, and Z, well, with those verbs, for third person of the singular, we add ES. Okay? What about the IES? When do we use IES, guys? With Y. All right. It's not with all Y's, right? It's not with all Y's, because if it were for all Y's, then in the case of play, it would be changed, right? It would be changed. It would be like this, but doesn't change. So very good, Marcus. Before a consonant, right? In the case we have a bear ending in a consonant, Y, then we use IES. We drop the Y and then we add IES. Very good, Marcus. Like study and cry. Excellent, Marcus. Very good job. So, and those are the rules we use with this type of verbs, right? Most of the verbs go with S. Verbs ending in S, SH, CH, X, O, and Z goes with ES. And verbs ending in a consonant Y, well, they go with IES. Thank you very much, Marcus. Thank you very much, guys. So let's continue on. There are also few verbs which are irregular. So few verbs which are irregular. Like have and has, do and does. Well, do and does because it's with es, right? And go and goes. To make the negative forms, we need to use do not or does not, right? Negative form. Do not or does not. Example. I do not play. I don't play. You do not play. You don't play. He does not play. He doesn't play. She does not play. She doesn't play. He does not play. He doesn't play. We do not play. We don't play. They do not play. They don't play. And then we have some other examples. You don't study very much. Julia doesn't like sports. We don't live in London. Great. And finally, let's say, how do we make questions? How do we make questions with a simple present? Easy. We use do or does before the subject to make yes or no questions. And this is a rule you guys have to follow every single time you make a question. This is a formula. I like to call it formula because it works in every single case. What's the formula for a question? Well, the formula for questions is that you only follow this pattern when you're making questions in any tense. The first is the W each question, right? That's the first thing you write, the W each question. Then the auxiliary verb. There can be one auxiliary verb, two auxiliary verbs. It depends on the tense. Then the subject, right, or the person, right? Then the main verb, and then the complement, right? If you just follow this pattern, if you follow this order, are gonna be all right. So in this case, the auxiliary for the simple present Do I play? Do you play? Does he play? Does she play? Does it play? Do we play? Do they play? And you got even some more examples there. Do you work in an office? Does John play cricket every weekend? Do they like traveling? It says just like with B. If you like to make a W square at the front, where do I play? What do you play? Why does he play? Who does she play with? When do we play? How do we play? And there you go. Where do you live? What does she like to eat? Why do they work so hard? All right, and that's the way we make questions. So that's about simple present. Very easy. I guess you all are very familiar with it, right? Those are questions. Questions. Great. Carla, Ilse, Alice, Marcus. No questions, right? All right. If there are no questions, let's go with the first activity, right? Today's first activity is this activity. So over here it says make the present simple positive, negative, or questions depending on the case. Example, the first one says, I in the cafe now. What would it be the answer for number one? I am great. I am great. I am in the cafe now, right? And then in number two, she play tennis every week. What would it be the answer for number two? Does she? Very good. Does she play tennis every week? It's missing the play, Carla, because you might. All right, guys. Very good. So that was number one and number two. So I want you guys please to continue with number three to number 13. Okay. Here on the chat, write your answers for number four and your answer five and your answer. Okay. You can write them all together. Don't forget to write the numbers for the activities, please. Uh-huh. Are you sure about number three, Ilse? They goes. I'm not very sure about it. They go right, Ilse. Very good. That's better. Continue, please. Remember all of them. Remember all of them are simple present. So Aldariz, it's no you will. For fine is no will. right. Great, Marcos. Easier, no? You send everything in one message. That was much better. Everybody else will have to do the same for the following activities. Carla, I not play the piano. I am not play the piano, Carla. I am not play the piano. Look, check it again, Carla. Number 9, Carla. Carla, check it again, please. The number 9. What's the answer? The correct answer, Carla. And the others are missing, no? Number 12, number 13. Go ahead, guys. I'm waiting. Number 12, number 13. Aldariz, Ilse, Carla, number 9. You guys hear me? Yes, right? Yeah, you guys should hear me. Hello, hello. So, Aldariz, Ilse, Carla. Hello. Number 12, number 13, number 9, Carla. Marcos and I are waiting. All right. Are you guys there? Ah, yes. Sorry, it's my fault. Yes, sorry. Sorry. The thing is that I needed to scroll it down. Sorry, 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 sorry. I'm not playing. It it isn't all today. Carla, you're still having some problems with the I not play, Carla. Number nine. I would like to see the correct answer. Look, Carla, it's because it is I don't play. Yes, very good, Carla. I don't play. Thank you. He said very good. We don't mean. Thank you. Thank you. Very good, guys. So that's about the simple present. Okay? Very easy. No problem. Very good. All right. Let's continue on. All right. Let's continue on. All right. So what's the next part? The next part, after simple present, what do we usually do is to check the present continuous. Okay? And for the present continuous, well, in the case of the present continuous, we use the present continuous to talk about temporary situations. Let me display. There you go. And there you go. We should use the present continuous in different situations. These are the uses of the present continuous. We make the present continuous by having the structure of the subject, then the verb be, and then a verb with an ing ending. An ing ending. Like for example, say I am. Remember, I will go always with capital letter. Playing, right? I am playing, right? I use the verb be and the verb with ing ending. Remember, in the case of the ing endings, we also follow rules, right? The ing goes in most cases only like that. But what happened with, for example, the verb finishes in a consonant Y, like study? Well, nothing. You just add ing. But what happens if a verb finishes in an E? Ah, we drop the E and we add ing, like dance, right? We drop the E and we add ing. And what if the verb finishes in a consonant vowel consonant? Ah, we double the last consonant and we got stopping, right? In the case of the Y, there's no problem. We only have ing and that's it. But it finishes, if the verb ends in an E, we drop the E. And if the verb ends in a consonant vowel consonant, we double the consonant, right? So we want to make it a negative sentence, then we need to use not. We can make the contractions with am and say I'm not, right? And if we want to make a question, well, the same way, we use first the verb be, am I playing, right? Or we can even make it with a WH question, like, what are you playing? And make it like this. So this is the way the present continuous work in the structure. But what about the use? Oh, there are different uses for this. We have, first, we use the present continuous for things that are happening at the moment of speaking. These things usually last quite a short time and they are not finished when we are talking about them. I'm working at the moment. Please call back as we're eating dinner now. Julie is sleeping, right? We also use these tense for other kinds of temporary situations, even if the action isn't happening at this moment. John's working in art until he finds a job in his field. He might not be working now, right? He might not be working now. So probably he's not working in this right moment, but that is what he's usually doing, right? For a living, right? So it's a temporary situation. It's a situation that is happening in his life, but only in a period of time, right? Whenever this is over, he's gonna do something else. Like I'm reading a really great book. So in this period of time, I'm reading it. I'm gonna finish it and I'm gonna read another book, but it's a temporary situation. He's staying with her friend for a week, right? One more time, temporary situations. Compare this with the present simple, which is used for permanent situations that we feel will continue for a long time, right? So in the simple present, we talk about habits. So since we talk about habits or routinary activities, daily activities, basically the simple present goes on for a longer period of time, but the present continuous not. It's temporary, it's temporal, right? It's only a short period of time. Sorry. It says, I work in a school. I think this is a permanent situation. I'm working in a school. I think this is a temporary situation, right? Like for right now, I'm teaching a B2 course at 7:30, right? It's a temporary situation. I'm not gonna teach this course all of my life, right? But if I say, oh, I teach English, it's a permanent situation. I will teach English all my life. We can use the present continuous for temporary or new habits. For formal habits that continue for a long time, we use the present simple. So one more time, temporary habits, present continuous. We often use this expression like these days or at the moment. He's eating a lot these days. She's swimming every morning. She didn't used to do this, right? So in the past, she didn't used to do this. Now she's swimming. You're smoking too much. So at this moment, you're smoking too much, right? Like we said, at the moment or at these days. All right, here we have another. Another present continuous use is for habits that are not regular, but that happen very often, sorry. In this case, we usually use an adverb like always, forever, or constantly. Often we use the present continuous in this way to talk about an annoying habit. Example, you're forever losing your keys, right? It's annoying, like you're forever losing your keys. She's constantly missing the train. Lucy's always smiling, right? So we use those type of adverbs, right, to show, the habit. Future uses. We also use the present continuous for a future use. The next use is for definite future arrangements. So we use the present continuous with this arrangement, right? We have arranged it, right? We have it clear. We have an appointment. It's for sure we're gonna do it. With a future time where, in this case, we have already made a plan and we're pretty sure that the event will happen in the future. So later on, probably tomorrow, because today I guess we're not gonna have enough time, but we're gonna see the difference between will going to, because they are two forms we use for the future. But we can also use present continuous for the future. And whenever we use present continuous for the future, well, in these cases, it's because we have planned it and we're sure, we're positive it is going to happen. Example, I'm meeting my father tomorrow. We're going to the beach at the weekend. I'm leaving at 3. We can't use this tense or any other continuous tense with stative verbs. I don't know if you know or if you are clear about the word stative. Do you guys know what a stative means? Or what are the stative verbs? You guys know what are the stative verbs? Which verbs are the stative verbs? Give me one example of a stative verb. Anybody? I guess Marcos is gonna give me the example because he's always on top of it. Anybody? Stative verb? You guys know or not? Any stative verb? Any? Give me an example. stative verb at 1, at 2, at 3? All right. Well, we use stative verbs, some stative verbs. Let me write them here. Are verbs we do not have, a specific objects. For example, like or hate or love. Those are stative verbs, right? Verbs we do not have specific objects. Mhm. Very good. All right. Let's practice. Let's practice with another activity. Mhm. Let's practice with another activity with the simple present and present continuous. There we go. Uh, oh, sorry. I guess I don't. Simple present, present, present. No, I'm sorry. I thought I had activities for the present continuous, but it seems that I didn't download it. All right. Anyhow, let's continue on. Mhm. So that's about the present continuous. One more time, the present continuous. I guess you all guys know, okay, how it works. Now let's go for the next tense. The next tense is going to be past tense, right? Past tense. What is the past tense? Well, we use the past tense to talk about past events, but past events that are finished. So when we talk about the past tense, it's because the activity was finished. It was completed in the past, right? It was completed, right? So I did it, I completed, it was over, and I'm not doing it right now at this moment, right? So that's when we use the past tense, the simple past. In order to do this, well, we change the verb, we change the verb form. If I say I play the piano, and then I change it to the past, I may say I played the piano, right? I feel very uncomfortable that I cannot see you or listen to you. Well, like if you guys like have the cameras or the microphone is working, open it because I don't know if you guys are listening or probably not. Or anyhow, so you just change the play to pass, which is played, right? So as you can see in this case, play is a regular verb. Now, what if we do it with an irregular verb like I don't know, write, no? We write letters. And then I make it in past, so I would say we wrote letters, right? So as you can see here, we have two different types of verbs. One is regular and the other one is irregular. What are the regular verbs? You guys tell me. What are the regular verbs? You tell me. Regular, weird, uh-huh, anybody, anybody, regular verbs. Anybody? Regular verbs? Who can tell me which are the regular verbs? Hello? You guys are there? I want to know if you guys are there. Who can tell me? Who can help me? What are the regular verbs? Uh, uh, no, basically, I want you to tell me, no, what are the regular verbs? Help, jump, are regular verbs? Okay, all right. Let's do it like this. What are the regular verbs? The regular verbs are all verbs, which in past go with ed, right? But we follow rules for the ed. We follow rules. It's not that, oh yeah, with ed and that's it. No, we follow rules, right? So, for example, if the first ends in an e, well, we only add the d, right? Like dance. We only add the d, dance. Verbs ending in e, right? So for verbs ending in e, we only add the, right? Now, what about if the verb ends in a consonant, vowel, consonant? What do we do when the verb ends in a consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel, consonant? What do we do? Who knows? Go ahead, tell me. Who knows? What do we do when the verb ends in a consonant, vowel, consonant? What do we do? When a verb ends in a consonant, vowel, consonant, what do we do? We add another consonant. Great, Marcus. Marcus, you're great. You always have the right answer. Mhm. So for verbs ending in a consonant, vowel, consonant, we double the consonant. We double the last consonant. Great. All right. Okay, verbs ending in consonant, vowel, consonant. All right. And what do we do with verbs ending, or when do we use the IED? As Marcos said previously in the other examples, when a verb ends in a consonant Y, right? In a consonant Y, well, then we drop the Y and we add ED, right? Consonant Y, drop the Y and add ed, right? And basically, those are the rules for the written form, not for the pronunciation. Because in the case of the pronunciation of the regular verbs, remember not all verbs sound with it, right? We got three types of pronunciations: pronunciations with T for the voiceless the verbs which end in a voiceless sound, the pronunciation with D for voiced verbs which in past and which sorry verbs which in present has a voiced ending, and the it, which are verbs which in present end in a T or a D, right? So we got those different types of pronunciation. Those are the regular verbs. In the case of the irregular verbs, well, the regular verbs, which are the irregular verbs? Well, they are all the verbs which are not regular. They are not regular, they are irregular. They can change, they can stay the same, or they can, modify only the pronunciation. Like in the case of read, which is the same written form, but the pronunciation is read. Okay? Very good. And that's about the past. That's about the past. The past with the affirmative form. In the case of the negative form, what do we do for the negative form? Well, we use the auxiliary didn't, right? Didn't. The past of do, which is done, sorry, did. And in the case of the negative, instead of don't, we use didn't. And when we use didn't, well, what it happens is that goes back to the verb goes back to present form, right? Instead of doesn't, we use didn't to, and what we do when we add didn't is that the verb goes back to present form. That's what we do. In the case of the questions, we follow the same structure I already told you about the questions, which is first the WH, then the auxiliary verb, then the subject, then the main verb, and then the complement, right? We end with a question mark, right? So if we want to make a question, we add the question word where, for example, the auxiliary verb did, the person, you, the main verb go, yesterday, the complement. We just do that. Okay, that's the way we do it. All right. So, and those are questions, negative forms, and affirmative forms. Let's practice with an activity. Okay, I have an activity right here about it. All right, guys, I would like you to please answer these activities. Okay, complete these sentences the way Marcos did. So how did Marcos do it? Marcos wrote all the answers in one message. So that way it's easier for me to check it. Okay, please answer all the activities, please. They are 11. Okay, like the first one. Okay, check which of them are questions and check which of them are negative and check which of them are affirmative. All of them are only about the past, only about the past. Okay, go ahead, please. Write all your answer in one message. Okay, please. Write one and your answer, two and your answer, three and your answer, all in one message, and then you click on send, please. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Did she go? Did you do? Worked? Didn't call? Did you wear? Didn't read? Did you go? Did you study? Did you cry? Did you eat? Great. Very good. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Ilse. Thank you, Aldariz, Marcos. Thank you, Carla. Where did she go? What did he do? Carla, number three. He works in a bank. I don't think so, Carla. Number three, I don't think so. Where the red dress? All right. Very good, Aldariz. Very good, Marcos. Ilse, very good. Carla, number three, please. I need you to check it again. Okay. Very good, guys. And so that's about the present. Sorry. Yeah, that's about the present and the past, right? Now let's check very quickly the past continuous. I would like to finish at least present, past, and future today. So tomorrow we can check some of the present perfects. Some of the perfect tenses, sorry. Yeah, but Carla, if you can send me your answer for number three, I would really appreciate it. I would like to know. All right, so let's check the continuous tenses, right? In the case of the continuous tenses, in the past continuous tense, what do we use? Well, we use, as we said, the the verb be plus, because I erased that and that was important. The verb be in past, and we also use the verb in ing form, right? Like the way we were doing with the present continuous tense. Like, for example, I. What is the verb to be in past for I? Well, we have two cases. For the verb to be in past, we have was, but we also have were, right? We use was for I, for the singular, basically. I, he, she, and it, right? And we use where for you, we, and they, right? So that's the way we do it, right? So when we use I was, he was, she was, it was, we use the verb in past was and the verb in ing, like playing, right? Playing or studying, right? He was studying, right? Like that. Mhm. Great. The same way we do we and they. Mhm. We were working, right? We You were working, and we were practicing, something like that. Okay, so the verb to be in past and then the verb in ing. Hmm? If we want to make it negative, we just add not, right? Wasn't, or in the case of where, weren't. We just do it like that, wasn't or weren't. And if we want to make it a question, well, we follow the same structure. We follow the same structure. First, the WH question, like what, then the auxiliary verb, which in this case is going to be the past of the be, was, then the person, he, then the verb, which in this case is with ing, doing, right? And I don't know, the complement, today, or in the morning, in the morning. There you go. What was he doing in the morning? Mhm. All right. That's the way we do it with the past continuous. Past continuous. Very good. All right. Excellent, guys. And I want to continue on just because it's already 9:10, And since this is a review, I'm pretty sure you manage all of these topics, but it is important to clear up some doubts that sometimes we may have. And I want to continue on before we finish today's class with the future, right? The future. We have different types of future. We talk about the present continuous. We said that the present continuous can be used as a future tense too. But basically, the future can be done with will or with going to. Mhm. Before we start talking about the differences in use between will and going to, let's analyze the structure. In the case of will works as an auxiliary verb, right? And we have the subject, then will, and then the verb in infinitive. Mhm. I will go to bed soon. Yes, I want to rest today, right? And I can even make it with a short form or a contraction, right? By adding the apostrophe and two L's. Mhm. Very good. If I use any other subject, it's exactly the same way. She'll or he'll or will, right? But it doesn't work the same way for going to, because in the case of going to, since going is an ing verb, we need to use the verb be as an auxiliary verb. So basically, the verb be controls everything in the case of going to. Like, I am going to, I'm going to be ready soon, right? So that is with going to, right? We use the verb be, then we use going to, and we can even have a short form for the verb be. I'm going to be ready soon, right? In this case, after will, we use the verb in infinitive, but with going to is exactly the same. We use the verb in infinitive, right? If the verb after going to is go, sometimes we can skip it and only say going to and the place. Like, for example, I'm going to go to the movies, right? You can skip go, you can drop it and say only I'm going to the movies, right? And that's it, right? Very good. To make it in a negative form, well, instead of will, we use want. You make it in a negative form with going to. Instead of I am going to, you say I am not going to, right? You want to make this in a question? Well, in the case of will and in the case of going to, you follow the same structure. The W's first, what, then the auxiliary next, will, the person, you, what will you, the bear, do, and then the complement, tomorrow. And with going to the same way. Mhm. But in this case, the auxiliary verb is the verb to be. What are, because it's the verb to be, you, the person, going to do tomorrow? Mhm. As you can see, they are the same questions, but one is with will and the other one is with going to. So how do we know when to use will and when to use going to? Well, for that, I prepared this chart for you. I prepared this chart for you. There you go. I hope you can see it. If you cannot see it very well, there is a over here where you can see the chart. There is like four arrows, son como cuatro flechitas, which is pantalla completa, full screen. Just click on full screen and it goes to all your screens so you can see it bigger, right? If you see the letters too small, you just make it bigger. So what's the difference between will and be going to? Well, will and infinitive. We use will and infinitive to make a decision at the moment of speaking. Example, Julie, there's no milk. John, really? In that case, I'll go and get some. So he's making a decision at the moment. We can also use it to make a prediction based on an opinion. Example, I think the conservative will win next election. So that is a prediction. We use it for a future fact. The sun will rise tomorrow. It's a future fact, right? It's a fact. It's a law. I mean, it's going to happen. It always happens. Then, for promises, requests, refusals, or offers. Examples: I'll help you tomorrow if you like. I'll help you tomorrow if you like. It's our offer. Okay? And we use going to when we make a decision before the moment of speaking. Before the moment of speaking. That's the main difference. In the other one, as the moment of speaking. Example: Julie, there's no meal. And John, I know. I'm going to go and get some when this TV program finishes. So he knew about it. And since he knew about it, he decided he was going to go, but after the program is finished. A prediction based on something we can see or hear. Example: the conservatives are going to win the election. They already have most of the votes. Okay, so we have some information about it, and we can make a prediction based on some information we can see or we can hear. All right. So I always tell the students that will is basically for something that is not sure, and going to is basically for something that we have previous knowledge, previous information that we can, say it's more sure, it's planned, right? So that's gonna be the difference between will and going to. Let's analyze other situations. Difference between the use of will and going to. Look, here we have other. All right, it says more examples. The phone rings. So if the phone is ringing right now at this same moment, I'm going to use will, right? I'm not using I'm going to, right? I say I'll get it. The phone rings. I'll get it. I'm going to get it. It's very strange because it makes us think that Julie knew the phone was going to ring before it did. And not. It's a decision taken at the moment, so you use will. I'm going to go on holiday next week. I'll go on holiday next week makes it sound like you've only just decided that minute. So it's a holiday. You plan your holidays with time in advance. So since you made this decision like probably last week or 2 days ago before you said you were going to go on a holiday, then you use going to. Of course, this is possible. It's possible that sometimes you make a decision out of the blue, but it depends on the situation. It depends on you. Normally, we plan holidays more in advance, as I said. Other points about the future. We use the present continuous tense, like previously we talked about the present continuous. We use the present continuous tense for definite future arrangements. Often, it doesn't really matter if we choose be going to or present continuous. In the following example, there is a really very little difference in meaning. Example: I'm going to the cinema tonight. I'm going to go to the cinema tonight. As I said, with go, you can use going to go or going to. We use the present simple tense in two cases. First, we use it for timetable events in the future, like public transportation or a start of a class. My train leaves at 6 to 9. So it leaves. Yeah? It goes away. Yeah? It's a timetable. There is a timetable. There is a schedule, right? And it leaves at that time, right? My class starts at 9, right? It's a schedule, right? There is a timetable implied. In that schedule, in that agenda, my class starts at 9, right? Very good. Finally, the last one. Second, we use it after same-thing words when the tenses has future meanings. We're talking about the simple present. These words are before, after, as soon as, or until when. I'll call you when I get home. Get home, right? Not when I am going to get home. No, when I get home. So we're using when, so we use the simple present. She's going to study after she finishes dinner. Not after she will finish dinner. No, after she finishes. All right? So we use it after. So whenever it's after a future sentence, a sentence with will or going to, we use the simple present. Please drink some water as soon as you complete the race. Drink some water as soon as you complete the race. As soon as. So when we're using as soon as, before, after, until, or when, we use simple present. We don't use will, we don't use going. Okay? Okay, right? Yeah, no doubts. You guys have any doubts? You can ask now. Later it's gonna be too late because I'm about to display the activities for today. The last activities for this going to. Okay, if you have no doubts, let's continue on. So it says putting will or be going to. So you just have to, based on what we have been talking about or what I have been telling you about, you need guys to make your decisions. Okay, is it with going to or is it with will? The first one says we don't have any bread, and then the letter B. I know. I get some from the shop. Is it with going to or with will? What do you think in the number one? Going to. Carla says going to. What about the others? What about the others? What do you guys think? Marcos, Ilse, the number one. Is it with going to or with will? Ahaha. Carla is correct. Aldariz, Ilse, and Marcos, sorry. It's not correct. It's with going to. Because it says, I know. I know. So he has that information. He knew about it. So since he knew about it, he said, I know. I'm going to get it from the shop. So it's going to. It's because of the I know, right? Very good. Next one. We don't have any bread. Going to or will? Yes, it's with Will, Marcus. It's with Will, Carla. Yes, because it says really. So he didn't know, right? So he says really. Since he didn't know, he didn't make any decision previously, and he says really. Okay, I will get some from the shop then. Very good. All right, you guys, please continue with number three, four, five, six, and seven. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, please go ahead. Answer number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Please, guys, go ahead. Thank you, Carla. Hello, guys. Carla is done. Very good. Thank you, Carl, Marcus. Great. Thank you, Miss Aldaris. All right, Ilse. Thank you. Very good. I see some mistakes. Okay, I see some mistakes on your answers. So let's do it together so you guys can check all your answers because I guess you guys had some troubles with this activity. As you can see, the problem is not the structure, it's the use, right? So let's see. In the number three, why do you need to borrow my suitcase? Why do you need to borrow my suitcase? And it says, visit my mother in Scotland this month. So since he's going to visit his mother in Scotland, well, it's something he planned already, right? So this is I am going to. I'm really cold. Turn the heating on, right? So he's really cold at this moment. So since it's a decision made at the moment, this is with will. I will turn the heat on. Are you going to John's party tonight? Yes, you are going to. I give you a ride. So since she didn't know, in this case, the person didn't know that the other person was going because it says yes. Are you going to? So since he or she didn't know, he or she is making the decision at the moment. So since it's at the moment, it's with will, right? Will. Marcus, this is with will. With will, Ilse. Okay. Then, what are your plans after you leave university? Work in a hospital in Africa. Live on the 28th. So he or she knows she's living on the 28th. So it's something planned already, right? So this goes with going to. I'm going to work. The phone is ringing. So since the phone is ringing, is I will get it. Are you ready to order? I can decide. Okay, okay. I have the stick. So a minute ago she couldn't or he couldn't decide. So since he or she couldn't decide and she is going to order at this moment, he's or she making the decision. So she didn't plan what to order before. So since it's a decision making out of the blue, is with will. Are you busy tonight? Would you like to have a coffee? Sorry, I'm going to go to the library. This is going. Sorry, I am sorry. Going to go to the library. This is with going to because it's a plan he or she already had. Okay, so you guys had some mistakes on this one. I would like you to try with number. Oh, that was it. Well, let's do together number 10. Why are you carrying a hammer? What do you guys think? Put up some pictures. Going to or will? Going to. What the other thing? What is the other thing? Going to. Marcus, Ilse, what do you guys think? Going to. And it is true. Is with going to. I'm going to because, well, he went for the hammer and he's back with the hammer and he is going to put some pictures, right? Because he already knew he was going to do it. He's already planning about doing it. So it's with going to. Yeah, it's with going to. All right. Very good. Very good. All right, guys, thank you very much. We're going to stop right here today. We're going to stop right here today with this of the past, the present, and the future. Tomorrow we continue with the perfect tenses, present perfect and past perfect. I'm going to create a WhatsApp group, okay, and I'm going to send you to the WhatsApp group your first homework. You have to do the homework in your notebooks, okay? So write the answers on your notebooks and send me a picture of your homework. That's the way you have to do the homework, okay? So once again, I create a WhatsApp group. I'll send you the homework to the WhatsApp group. You just answer the homework in your notebooks and you just send me the homework, okay? Send me a picture. Very good. Thank you. Carla, can you please stay? Uh, Aldariz, please can you ladies stay? I want to see what's going on with your audios. It is today was not important, no, the audio was not necessary, but we need to solve it because I prefer when the audios are open because that way we can work faster because it is faster that you answer than you only write because when you write we take longer. Mhm. All right. Everybody else, Ilse, Marcos, thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Have an excellent night. Okay? Thank you, Ilse. See you. Have an excellent night. Thanks. Thanks. All right. Aldariz and Carla. All right. What happened? ¿Qué pasa, Miss Aldariz? Porque yo ahorita le estoy, por ejemplo, Aldariz, ahorita Miss le estoy dando la del micrófono. ¿Le está apareciendo ahí el recuadrito? Ahorita ya le aparece el recuadro de autorizar. A ver, dígame sí o no. Carla, a ti te estoy mandando el del micrófono. Sí te aparece, sí le aparece a mí. Y le da en autorizar, en permitir. ¿Y qué pasa? ¿Qué dice la leyenda? Carla, yo a ti te estoy autorizando el micrófono, te doy el micrófono y ¿qué pasa? Te sale el cuadrito de permitir. ¿Qué dice la leyenda? Carla, ¿sí te sale o no sale el cuadrito?